Guys,
I
can you
will,
all
yeah.
switch on cameras?
Can we start?
Yes, ma'am, we can start, ma'am.
Yeah. So you would like me to speak first?
Yes, ma'am, that would be great if you would speak first.
All right. Okay. All right. Are you moderating or is Niyati moderating?
Niyati will moderate, I guess, ma'am.
All right. So I'll begin by telling you something about myself, which is not really what is written on Wikipedia or the internet, which is, of course, the bastion of all that knows all. I grew up in Delhi. I was in Convent of Jesus and Mary, and then I was in St. Stephen's College for English. At the same time, I had gotten admission into the National School of Drama. But I thought going to a prestigious college like St. Stephen's would definitely make a difference, and I could make a mark in some other things apart from my acting. But as luck would have it, I got my first performing role in the first year of my college, which is Hum Log, in the summer vacation. And no one knew, least of all me, that it would become such a cult and such a smashing success. And of course, it allowed me to get my foot in the door for future work and to be able to move to Bombay and make acting in my profession and career. I've always wanted to act. I never wanted to do anything else. I don't know how to do anything else. Most of my contemporaries and peers have gone on to open their own production houses, they're directing, they're writing. I'm not interested in any of that. I just want a script and I want to be acting. I want to be just an actor. It doesn't matter what the medium is, whether it's stage, whether it's television, whether it's the web and films. As long as I'm performing, I'm happy. Of course, the fame, the money, the legacy you leave behind, these are all huge plus points. But for me, just being able to act and getting wonderful scripts and having my name to be reckoned with is in itself a huge reward. I think it'll be more interesting if I don't just talk now, and if you all have questions and there are things you'd like to know, which I could answer, I think that would be nicer.
Yes, guys, please come up with your questions. You can type them in the chat box too.
Okay, so I have.
I don't think I can see a chat box. So Niyati, you'll ask me the questions, please, because I don't see a chat box.
Yeah,
I'm quite challenged that way.
Yeah. I have a question myself.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have like modeled for like, 2-3 brands and all, like, but I get very conscious seeing the camera. Like the point I see the camera, I get very conscious. Like before getting on in front of the camera, I am very like, yeah, okay, I can do this. But the point I am in front of it, I get very conscious, like people are looking and like, do I even have this? Do I even like, can I even do this? So like, how do you like get over with that fear? Like, yeah, you are doing your best.
Experience, training.
Yeah,
and of course, it always helps. It always helps if you actually train to do that. So when you're typing the questions, it's coming on my face. Does that get recorded like that or no?
Yeah. You are getting the questions, right?
No, but then it's not coming on my face, right? When you're recording it.
No.
Because in my phone, I think, okay. So to answer your question, I think the more you work, the more experience you get, the more you ask questions, the more you look around, the more you make mistakes, the more you learn. And if this is what you truly love, there'll come a day when you'll forget the camera is there and you'll just be so happy that you're right there and doing what you're doing. So if that's what really makes you happy and you think you want to be a model and an actor later on, then just keep at it. Nobody said this was an easy profession. I don't know why everybody I meet, almost everyone I meet, they think it's the easiest thing in the world. They think you just have to be reasonably good looking and you have to have some connections and you just need to get a job, an acting job, and lo and behold, you're going to be a superstar. It is really, really hard work. We work very hard to look the way we do, to perform the way we do, to get the work we do. It is not an easy ride, but if you love it, it's the most beautiful ride.
Yes, definitely. Anybody has any
Wow, can you hear
questions?
the thunder? Can you guys hear the thunder or no?
Yes, we did hear.
You did? Okay, it's just crazy. I can't do anything about it. Okay.
Yeah, if anybody else has any questions, you all can shoot.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, please go.
Hi, my name is Roshan, and I'm particularly interested in acting and theater. So my question is to ma'am, like, how can you make space for yourself in this industry? And there are some specific places like Prithvi Theatre, one of the prestigious places related to theater. And if you want to make a space for yourself over there in so much of competition, how do you stand out? And you feel demotivated and very demeaned, like how are you gonna make it? So any advice for that?
We've all started right at the beginning. When we used to do theater, we all used to be there an hour earlier than our director asked us to come. We made sure the stage was clean, his seat was set, his tea was ordered. We have all done minion jobs and we have been at it, been at it. Like I said earlier, it's not an easy life, but it is a wonderful life. And if you want to be an actor and you want your name to be reckoned with, don't be in a rush. There is no substitute for talent and hard work. In fact, I would give hard work, I would supersede hard work sometimes because there are people who are very talented, but they don't want to work hard. So they get opportunities, but somewhere along the way, it all falls apart. You must consistently work hard. You must work at honing your talent, honing your voice, your body, which is your temple, and you must be able to use it till the last day of your being an actor. Join a theater group. Make sure you're doing workshops. Do small parts in plays. Once you get on that stage on opening night and when you're performing for an audience, you'll realize whether this is the life you want or not. And everybody has to start from the beginning. अभी तो आप लोग बच्चे हैं. अभी से demean or importance or ये सब, don't think about all this right now. You have to traverse a journey of at least 2 decades or a decade and do a body of work. And then if you're not getting your due, or you're not getting respect, or you're not getting treated like a certain way that you want to be, then I can understand you feeling a little depressed or, wondering whether this was the right thing that you should have done. But at the beginning of your career, or when you're figuring out if this is what you want to do with your life, don't be presumptuous. Nobody owes you anything. And in a city like Bombay, nobody really owes you anything. And every day there are thousands of kids coming from everywhere, to join this industry as actors, directors, writers, of course, primarily actors. But I think, and you also must give yourself a time frame, because living in a city like Bombay is very expensive. It's not easy. How long can you live off parents? So what you need to do is give yourself a time frame that you will join a theater group, you will do some theater, you will try and make a name for yourself. Fortunately now, casting is all online. All the casting directors have online portals. You can send your links, you can send your photographs, you can write your names and addresses. And if they think your face is suitable, they will call you for auditions. Go for auditions, go for every audition. And somewhere down the line, it will happen. But give yourself a time frame. Then after that, if you still want to remain in this industry, maybe while waiting for your acting job, you can be an assistant, or you can write, or you can be something, which a lot of people do. But don't say, you're demeaned and humiliated right now. अभी आप शुरू कर रहे हैं, अभी आप बच्चे हैं, अभी आपको ह्यूमिलेट करेंगे हम लोग, आपको सिखाएंगे हम लोग, आपको बोलेंगे ये लेके आओ. And that is part of the journey.
I get that, ma'am, but we talked about how we are fortunate that everything is getting online. I've been traveling to Warsaw, Aramnagar for the same reasons, and they are
Yes.
telling us, from lockdown there are no introductions going on. It's all online. Up down, I say. So
Yeah,
like there is no
it's all
that
online.
charm, that Yeah, it's all
This
online,
is
but
evolution.
really,
It is
I thought,
no, it is
yeah.
evolution. Like what's happening with films, nobody's going to see films anymore. So the filmmakers can say, look, I spent 5 years of my time and my life and effort on this, but there are no ticket buyers right now. It is all evolution. You can blame it on COVID, you can blame it on lockdown, but there is going to be evolution. Theater used to be king, then television came, and theater took a back seat. Then OTT came, and television took a back seat. Films have always been the king. But right now, with the kind of scenario that we're living in, the kind of finances that we're living in, it's, the boat is shaky right now. So when they say that nobody is meeting you face to face, they're not. I have met nobody face to face. Everything has been on Zoom. All casting calls have been on Zoom. Look tests have been on Zoom. We have done readings on Zoom. So don't worry about that. You still have college to finish. And like I said earlier, someone like me didn't, because I knew that if I didn't act, I never thought of the alternative. But if you feel insecure, if you feel worried, then maybe you could do something on the side and wait for the opportunity to get parts. There is
So,
no
ma'am, you think
romance.
like
There is no
we will
romance.
recover from this?
There is no romance, and there is no glamour in starving to death or being ignominious, with no name, no face, no life, no career, no wealth. There is no romance in that. Please remember that. So people who say that, uh, they're wrong. You have to be able to figure out your life, and you have to be able to earn your own living. And there's so many people I know who never got opportunities. They went on to do other careers, made money, and then came back and produced their own film. So there are all kinds of things. The only thing is that you have to love it enough.
So, ma'am, do you think like we'll recover from this time frame where we are seeing this setback for the films? Like films are not doing so well on box offices, and as you said, that the producers are like not putting so much money right now going on. Like films are not doing well, of course. So, will we ever recover from this?
I, I'm sure there'll be recovery, like you call it, but I don't think things will be the way they were, which is a larger than life spectacle. The kind of budgets that the films were being made under, uh, you know, there has to be some kind of pruning somewhere, because they are just not covering their own costs right now. And after a point, the finances buckle under that. So I think everybody is going a little safe. Everybody is trying to make things, and then they're just selling it to portals on the internet. But I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that cinema will go back to the days of yore. I'm not so sure, because it's too easy. It's too easy for us at home. My own film got released last week called Goodbye. I haven't been to the cinema to see it. I didn't go for the preview for the actors because I live in Pune and I didn't want to travel to Bombay in the rains just to see the preview. And I haven't been to the hall yet. And all my colleagues are like, "Are you serious? You haven't seen it yet?" And in the recesses of my mind, I'm like, it'll come sooner or later. So I'll watch it here. So I'm not very sure how well the big cinema is going to continue to do.
But are you sure that there are going to be lots of opportunities in OTT platform and like other things if we consider about like small screen?
There are lots. There are lots. Television is terrifying because, but like I said earlier, you have to struggle, and you have to work so hard to the point of exhaustion first to make your mark, and then you can call the shots, and then you can dictate your terms. But there is a lot of work on television and OTT. But yes, you're right. You have to get visible. You have to get known. You have to find that one opportunity that people see and say, "Oh, I saw that guy. I saw that girl, and maybe we can try it out for this." So apart from hard work and talent and experience and getting trained for something, being there at the right place at the right time is also very important in this industry.
That's what we call luck, ma'am. And thank you so much for answering every
Yeah,
question of mine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. But just keep at it. Work hard. Work hard. Take every opportunity that comes your way. And don't allow your ego to be bigger. I'm not talking about self-worth and pride. I'm talking about ego. ईगो तब आना चाहिए जब आपने कुछ नाम कमा लिया, आपने कुछ कर लिया, तब ईगो आना, तब भी नहीं आता. People who are very successful actually don't have egos because they're like, I did this. So, there's a huge difference between ego and pride. Remember that.
Ma'am, I don't think there is lots of ego in people. It's more about fear and uncertainty, like, how the competition is so, like, cutthroat competition there is in this industry.
So don't
So
you
it's
have
more about
competition in
fear.
your college? Don't you have
No, of
competition in your
course,
college?
of course
Aren't there
we
the students
have,
who are better at studies than you?
of course, ma'am, definitely we all have faced competition and we are here. But, in industry, like, there are so many things. Like for IIT, for example, you just have to study on one path and you will reach there. But in industry, you have no idea. Like you can be
Yeah. It's
anywhere
an
and you can be
uncertain.
picked. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's
Like
a,
this
it's a, it's
uncertainty
a,
is
it's
a little
definitely an
scary.
uncertain industry. But that's why you have to love it enough. You have to know that when you close your eyes and see yourself 5 years or 10 years or 20 years down the line, you see yourself only here. And you have to have that faith and conviction that you will do this. That's why whoever is in this industry is not because, their parents said so, whether everybody else was doing it. It's because they love it so much that they can't bear the thought of being away from it at all. Somebody said something, it went away. Who is my inspiration? Niyati, who asked that? I can't hear anyone.
1 second, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. I asked that question.
My mother is my primary inspiration. My mother is an actor called Sushma Seth. And ever since I was born, I've been watching her on stage. And I think I was about 4 when I told her that I'm going to be an actor and I don't want to be anything else. And she says that I used to, watch myself in the mirror crying and, go and perform scenes in front of the mirror and everything. And I've been doing theater since then. But my mother is probably my hugest inspiration.
Ma'am, when was the stage when you came to know, okay, acting is the thing like you want to do, like as a profession, like
when I was
not
4
as a
years
hobby?
old. When I was 4 years old.
Isn't that in a very early age to make a choice?
I don't remember, like when you ask kids, they always say pilot and this and that and hotel,
exactly.
and they say all kinds of things, and now they say cricketer and they say other things as well. I don't remember saying anything else except actor. It's in my veins. It's in my blood.
Like at this age also we are very confused. Like if someone asks us what do we have to become, we don't have a proper answer to it. Like you see, so like at 4 was a very
but
what,
what is your average age right now, all of you?
1920.
1920. No, I'm sorry, but by now you need to get your act together and figure out what you want to, how you want to live your life. At least how you want to live your life. Even if you don't know in which avenue, but you have to visualize what kind of life do you want. That is very important. Don't waste time.
I guess
Don't
somebody
waste time. I did an event a couple of weeks ago, and there was a girl who styled me. There was a girl who was doing the publicity, and we were all sitting and they were all fussing over my stuff and everything. And I said, how old are you? How old are you? How old are you? They were 20, 21, 22. The entire team was 20, 21, 22. So you can get, you can. Unfortunately, what college does, everybody goes into college thinking, okay, 3 years I can just chill, eat my mom, dad's food, live in their house without anybody saying, what are you doing? Where is your life going? What are you going to become? But you should use those 3 years to figure that out. And so that by the time your college finishes, you're so sure of where you're going to be and what you want to do. Otherwise, it's very easy to fall into a slump. And before you know it,
That's right.
and the generation above you was probably the worst because they came out of college and COVID happened and there was a lockdown for
Exactly.
2 years. So they have now come into the job market, but at the same time, the new batch is ready. So their competition has tripled. It's trebled, not even doubled. So, you're not in that precarious position, but we're just too many people in this country. We're just too many people on the planet, and opportunities and resources are now very little. So you have to make up your mind of how you want to live and what you want to do and what makes you happy. That should be your poster. What makes me happy? Even if it gives you less money. What makes you happy? How do I live a kind and fruitful life? These should be the only two things. Of course, you have to earn your own living, but you should live the way you can manage, not the way your neighbor is living. Half the problem that everybody has is that they're trying to keep up with what everybody else is doing. We're all guilty of that. But I think the day that is taken away from the equation and all you do is, make sure that there's food on your table and you're happy and you're living a sustainable, kind life, I think you're sorted and I think you're a success.
Yes, ma'am. Also, someone has a question that how can one get started in this field? Like, how do you start with this field of acting?
You either join one of the innumerable courses that are happening in Bombay. There are lots of acting courses. There's Barry John's Freebird Collective. There's Mukesh Chabra. There are a lot of acting courses. If you just Google acting courses in Bombay for beginners, it'll all pop up. And these are very, very good acting courses. You should join these. You should join a theater company, which there are still some of. And even if you don't get a speaking part in the first play, it's amazing fun and it's such a learning experience. That is the first thing you should do. I've worked with so many people who are really good looking and really charming and come with such amazing connections, but they can't perform the minute the camera is on. They freeze up. They're almost in tears. They break out in cold sweat. What theater will do for you is break you in. It'll teach you. It'll strip away all your restrictions. It'll strip away all the covers that you have. And you will approach people with more confidence and a surety that you can do that job.
But ma'am, are these courses affordable?
Some are expensive. I know Barry's is expensive, but figure it out. Figure it out. If you don't want to do the course, then join the theater group. Everything, the biggest advantage you all have is everything is online. Information at least is online. आपके college में theater group है?
I doubt. Yeah, I guess we have 2-3 clubs working with it.
I doubt. You don't know.
No, I do know, but they are just aligned with it. They are not actually doing that work. Like, I guess there is FPHR, which is film production club. It's a club. So like, if you are in the club, then you will get any benefits, or else I doubt.
No, but theater is a must. It is the biggest learning ground that an actor can have. Biggest and the best.
Yes.
And side by side, there are so many there are so many casting calls for all kinds of things. You have to start going for all those.
Okay. Prithvi has asked that what is your favorite genre to work with?
I used to think drama was my favorite genre, but then I started doing a lot of comedy and I had so much fun with that. And then came along horror and I have fun with that too. So I think it's, I like to do everything. So in the last 1 year, I did a comedy. I did. Sorry?
No, ma'am, continue.
Yeah. So in the last 1 year, I did Fitrat, which was, she She's just a regular high society mom. Then I did Goodbye, which was so much fun. And of course, shooting with Mr. Bachchan. And then I finished City of Dreams, where I play a politician. Then I finished, what else have I finished? Which is on a Duranga, which was terrifying. I mean, we finished scenes and I'd be like, how can a human being be like this? So I think I enjoyed all the genres.
Definitely you're versatile. We can say that. Okay, so Omar Sheikh has a question for you. So it goes like, is it okay if you don't have your life figured at our age? Like, is it okay till now if you have not figured anything yet?
But there must be some idea, na? कुछ तो idea होगा कि आपको कहाँ जाना है. Even if you haven't figured out how you're going to do that, you can't not have any idea. It's just a waste of time. I was always in a real hurry. I just wanted to get where I was going so fast that I started at 18. By 16, I was working in theater, so at least some kind of semblance. Sit quietly, close your eyes, figure out which avenue you need to be in where would you like to be. Just because you're in Bombay doesn't mean you have to be in part of the entertainment industry. There are lots of other opportunities, but you have to figure out something. Otherwise, you'll finish college and come out and you still won't be clear. And then you'll have wasted so much of time. And then what you'll do is end up taking something you don't really love. And then it's just a snowball effect, of doing something you don't love, living a life you don't want. Why? It's so boring and it's so depressing. So it's easier to just figure it out. That would be my advice. Figure it out. It's perfectly okay. We all have parents who are like, we're not like the Americans who say at 18, you need to just get your own place and leave. Our parents will keep us when we're 40 years old also. But it's no fun.
Makes sense.
It's no fun. You should just...
It won't have your heart into it.
Opportunities are so many. And yeah, so figure it out. Figure out what it is. And so what if you've made a mistake down the line? I have a friend who was one of the head honchos of advertising till he was 40. At 40, he left everything and became a freelance photographer. And he's the happiest ever. So, it's not like it's a patthar ki lakeer. It's your decision. You can make it anytime.
Makes sense. So, ma'am, there's Tanvi Jain asking you a question that as an actor, you need to be all out. You're supposed to do all kinds of scenes. So what if you have a choice of not doing a particular scene which you are not comfortable with? So how does that go? Does it limit the scope or something?
I don't know. I've never faced that problem. And even when I was doing television and now, especially with OTT, in fact, there was a show that I was shooting just now and there was an intimate scene in that. And I was quite okay because I trust this director so much. I knew he'd shoot it so beautifully that I didn't need to ask any questions. And we finished shooting the scene and in the script, there was written that they kiss and they hadn't shot it. So I asked him, I said, you're not going to shoot the kiss? So he was like, God, calm down. Yeah. I mean, like, he's saying, no, I don't need it. So I think as an actor, if you're very uncomfortable with something, you need to work on it. But
so the director won't change the script, right? Like obviously you have to work on it.
If something is very vital to your narrative, then no. And as an actor, once you get to a senior position, maybe you can discuss it with the director. But as a newcomer or somebody who's been, you cannot say, can we not do this or why is this here? You can discuss it. But I know directors are open to discussion, but you can't go on a set and say, I'm not going to do this. They'll be like, please pack your makeup stuff and leave. We'll get somebody else. And there'll be 10 other people waiting at the door.
For sure. But ma'am, if like you're not comfortable with it at all, like you don't think that's what your parents or someone would like to see you on screens with. So like how do you face that?
This is the biggest problem we have. My parents will be watching this. My neighbors will be watching. You're an actor. You're an actor. You're performing a part. It is not you. And in our country and the content that we make on the web and in films, things are not that explicit. And if they are, they discuss it with you firsthand. When I get scripts or somebody's talking to me for a new show, and there is something in there that they need the actor to know, they'll let you know beforehand that, ma'am, there will be a backless shot in this. Ma'am, are you okay with this? Ma'am, there's a towel scene. They let you know beforehand. Nobody springs it on you when you come on set. So it's not done like that.
And is when you say that I doubt I will be okay with it? So like they do not change the script, but you only have to work on it, right?
Or they'll change you.
Yeah, exactly.
And why? These are insecurities and affectations we have as actors. We have to be very. That's why again I come back to theater. If you do theater, if you do workshops, you're stripped of all this. You realize this is just a vessel. This is just a vessel. What I'm telling you and what I'm doing is something very different. It's not so vital at all. You'll get comfortable with your space, with your body, with your movements, with your voice, with touch. In workshops, you do exercises like trust, where you touch each other, where you throw each other, so that you learn how to accept this when you're performing with other actors.
Exactly. But that is how narrow-minded our, the audience is, right? Like if they see any scene, then they just interpret that this is how it is. But
then
they
you
don't
have
understand.
to rise above that. No, you have to rise above that. You cannot go and change people's mindsets. You have to rise above that. And it's not just in this, in the Hindi film industry. It is there. You have to rise above that. You're an artist. You're an actor. And if it works for you and you feel it's something you can deliver, then you shouldn't even think about who's going to watch it and judge you. They don't care. They want to be you. They don't care.
Makes sense. Okay, ma'am. Gitika has one question for you. What if we are good at multiple things more than average, like in dance, acting, etc., and can't figure out what should I pick? Any advice?
So when I was about, I think 13, 12 or 13, I was training to be a classical singer. And I was also acting in an amateur theatre group. And my guru said to me one day, because I hadn't done enough riyaz, and he could make out that my voice was slightly hoarse, because when you speak on stage, you have to enunciate to the back row. And so he just told me very quietly, he said, Ek Bhagwan ko pujo. So I chose acting. But there are thousands of performers all over the planet who sing, dance, act. In fact, in industries like in the Hollywood industry, it's a prerequisite. When you fill up forms, do you sing? Do you dance? They know you have to be able to act, otherwise you wouldn't be here. But do you sing? Do you dance? So I think it's a plus point. I think you should pursue both until you find, and maybe you'll get a part which is of a dancer in some. You don't need to choose. I think you should pursue both.
Okay, ma'am. Nitin has a question. He's going to ask himself. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You can go forward.
Good evening, ma'am. I have a question.
Hi, good evening. Yeah.
So the thing is, I have heard that in on-set, the actor is a puppet of the director. So is it true?
Which magazines did you read?
No, no magazine.
Then? A puppet is the wrong word. A puppet is the wrong word.
Puppet is the wrong word.
It's the wrong word. On the set, the director is the boss.
Okay.
He better be the boss, because if he's not the boss, then no one knows what they're supposed to do. And your end product is going to be shoddy and unconvincing to the audience. If the director knows what he wants, if the director is very sure, and the tone and the temper of a set trickles down from the producer and director. If they're calm and chilled and they respect and love everyone and they know their job, then that's how all the shoot days go. But if they are floundering, then everyone flounders. The first person that you need to acknowledge on a set is the director, then the DOP, and then the producer.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
If anyone
I
has
think
any
everyone
more
is done.
questions, then you all may drop the
Yeah, I have one question. May I ask?
Yes.
Of course you may.
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I want to ask that you started off with TV, you did OTT, and then you did films. Then you did films. So, ma'am, what mode or what platform are you more comfortable with, or you feel is more friendly with the audience?
Like I had said in the beginning, I just want to act. I just always wanted to act. The fame, the wealth is a byproduct. I'd be happy on stage, I'd be happy on television, OTT, and film. But right now, I'm really loving the OTT space because it's not, the grandeur is not as much as film. And the, on television, the kind of crucifying schedules are not there. Everything is very organized. In a very short span of time, we managed to finish so many episodes. People are very sure because we have that kind of time frame for shoots. So scripts are ready, short breakups are ready, everything is ready. Everything is working like clockwork. So right now I'm enjoying that a lot.
Ma'am, I had a question. How do you deal with criticism? As in, some people choose to ignore it, some people have a setback or something. So, how do you deal with it?
If it's criticism from somebody I respect or somebody who I was hoping would see my work, then yes, it would affect me. But from the audience by and large, it's their prerogative. Someone will like me, someone will not like me. Someone will like my performance, someone will not. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So the same way, somebody can say, oh my God, what a fantastic performance. Somebody else can say, what did she do? What was she doing? That's their prerogative. So that's quite all right. I just have to be very sure that I did my best. That there were no shortcomings as far as my performance was concerned.
Thank you, ma'am.
Amiksha, you can go next.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening. I literally love your work in fit. Just a minute, sorry. Yeah, I literally love your work from Fursat. But I had this one question. What do you see while choosing the script? Like, what are your first things that you look into? The storyline,
Yeah.
the
I'm more than the role that they're offering me. I look at what's happening in the story. Is that relevant? Is that important? And even if the part I'm there on screen, the screen time I have is less, is it relevant enough? That for me is very important. The relevance of that character. I don't care about the quantity of it, but the relevance of it. That for me, the minute it goes pop in my brain that, oh, okay, this is interesting, then I know I want to do it.
Ma'am, one more question.
I won't ask them how many scenes and how much screen time, and that's none of my business as it is. Sometimes people shoot a lot, but it gets cut on the editing table. So that's none of my business. I have to see the relevance of this character vis-a-vis the other characters. How vital was she in a film like Jab We Met? I don't have even one dialogue. I have 4 shots, but it was relevant. They are talking about her throughout. She is the one who made him this way. And for him, the reconciliation with her is his closure. So, the relevance of the thing.
Got it. Ma'am, one more question. Till now, you have done so many amazing works. Which one, you think is the best performance you have ever done? Like everything is good, but the one, has been your favorite, has been in your heart.
That's yet to come.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Tanya, you can go next.
Thank you. Firstly, good evening, ma'am. A big thank you to you for answering to all our questions so
You're
patiently.
most welcome.
So I had this quick question that all we see in media today about actors, their lives, and then we also see some channels wherein they mention so much wrong things about actors. So that
Oof.
anyway affects the fame of actors. So should that be
Yeah.
a thing that one should consider while entering into this field, or how do we keep ourselves by saying that no, that's not going to affect us, but at the end we know that's affecting the fame. So what would you comment on this?
It's a catch-22 situation. You need the fame and you need the media and you need that kind of publicity and the fans to get you where you want to go. But at the same time, when you're in distress or when you're having a personal crisis or you're not looking very good and you're still photographed or attacked or whatever, it can play havoc with you. But like with everything else and with every other profession, you need to be mentally strong and you need to know this is not personal. The minute you realize that you're just a means for them, to get news out or to get that photograph out. And as as terrible as the hounding has become, it's also their source of income. It's also, so, uh, it's a hydra we create. You want them to photograph you, at the same time you don't want them to invade on your privacy, but they go hand in hand sometimes. I wish the media would respect privacy a little more and leave the children alone, the parents alone, and just focus on your work and you.
Yeah.
But it gets out of hand sometimes, but you have to be strong and be like, it's okay, it's all
Yeah,
right.
so the other day I was just watching all these, stories and all the Instagram pages that keep posting about actors and their personal lives.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
that just took me one step back for, going there here, because I felt that's so incorrect. Where the actor's child is going, that is being, traced, that is being caught on camera. So that was
yeah.
a bit point when I
No,
thought.
but see, everything is transitory. That's the flavor right now. That's what everybody wants, because you have these pages and pages of film, and you have news to give out, and their Instagram portals and everything. It'll also evolve and it'll lessen. Ultimately, everything boils down to yourself. That
Yeah.
you have to remain strong and remain forthright through everything, because there will
Agree.
be ups and downs. There will be good and bad days and terrible days. So
Absolutely agreed. Also, just one more question. To what extent would you rate that beauty matters? Okay, so beauty does matters in this field, but to what extent? Because I believe talent is superior, and then comes the beauty. So, is that
you're right.
my thinking?
Yes, you're
Okay,
right.
it's fine. Perfect.
You're
Thank you so
definitely
much.
right. And not just now. If you look at films, all of world cinema all over, the actors who've stayed their ground, the actors who you've never forgotten, are not very good looking people. They're not gorgeous or anything, but they're amazing actors. They're honest and their eyes speak. And let me tell you, success makes you very good looking.
That's a point. Absolutely,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Let's wrap up now.
Ma'am, I guess Kamya has last question, if we
Okay.
could for her.
Yeah.
All right, ma'am. So I would like to ask you, if you got a chance to work with any director or any actor of your choice, who would you go for?
I've never really thought of that, because I love working with all the actors, and there's no one person or one director that I'm like, I wish I could do. Yes, what I definitely do want is to now traverse out of the Indian industry. I would like to do work maybe in England or in America, or just to see how they work and do different things, because I've been working for 38 years here. So I think it's time for me to just put one foot out now. So that definitely interests me, and I look forward to that. Being able to work in America, in Hollywood either, or in London. That definitely I would be very excited to do right now.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much for answering my question.
Thank you so much for having me.
Prithvi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. please.
Okay. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everybody else. It's been nothing less than an honor to be a part of this wonderful seminar. On behalf of the B.Voc and B.M.M committee of HR College, I would love to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, an actor, animist, and a wonderful speaker, Ms. Divya Sheth Shah. Further, I would also like to thank our principal, Dr. Pooja Chandani, ma'am, our club presidents and teachers in charge for giving the students a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity of learning and interacting with the best professionals on a one-to-one level. Participants, all of you were lovely as an audience, and we hope you enjoyed this tête-à-tête as much as we enjoyed hosting it for you. Before we end this session, here is a fairly popular quote that I thought would be apt after today's session. What feels like the end is often just the beginning. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. Good luck and put your brains to ticking and figure out what you want to do with your lives. Don't waste time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Ma'am, can
Thank
we
you
have
so
one
much.
picture?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, can we
All
all
of
switch
you.
on the camera side?
Yes. Everyone, please switch on the cameras.
Done?
Dhruv, is it done?
Done, sir.
I'm frozen. Is it done?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Lovely to talk.
Bye,
Most
ma'am.
welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye,
Bye.
ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bye, Dhruv.
Thank you so much, guys.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for
Thank
attending.
you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Beta.
Dhruv.
Bye.